Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from stampscrapandmore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And thank you for joining me today for another video tutorial. We will be making a cube ornament, getting ready for a craft fair. And part of my goal at the craft fair is to expose people to Stampin' Up! Through paper crafting, using stamps, ink, and paper. And in order to do that, I need small giftable items for stocking stuffers and teachers' gifts, that type of thing, so that people will come to the booth and I can share with them upcoming classes and events and what you can do with Stampin' Up! Product. So in that vein, I had gone to the US to pick up some small prepackaged items that I can wrap up uniquely. And one of the items that I picked up was Oreo 2-pack cookies. I think you can get them here at Costco, but they're side by side, they're not stacked. So these are nice, small, and compact. So what we're going to be making today is a cube ornament, and I just hit the overhead camera, sorry about that, is a cube ornament using current Stampin' Up! Product. For the craft fair, I like to use retired product, and so this is another item that I've made, but all of this product is retired. So let's get started, and we're going to be making this ornament with current product, and I'm going to give you the measurements, and it's really a lot simpler than what you think. Let's get started. So here is the box once again, and I have many prototypes on my desk. So this is another one, and so this is what it looks like. Lesson learned, and I'm going to say this off the top, you need to use non-directional paper for this. I do have a couple of people to thank because this is on many blogs, but I know I've seen it on Paper Pixie, I've seen it on Poodles, so I'm taking it and recreating it using it with what for the Oreo cookies and with product I have on hand. So yes, very important that you use non-directional product, but this is what it looks like. And then this is, again, the one that I've done with retired paper and ribbon. And then this is the one that I've done with current paper and ribbon. I think it's so sweet. Let's get started. You're going to need a 6x9 piece of cardstock. And I'm using the Designer Series paper that is called Sweetest Christmas. And it's got Garden Green, Pool Party, Real Red, and Sweet Sorbet. So I've chosen the Real Red to use as the cardstock. So it's 6x9. I've got my little note here. On the 6-inch side, you're going to score at 2 inches and at 4 inches. And on the 9-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches, 4.5 inches, 6.5 inches, and 8.5 inches. And I'm just going to put the score, simply scored back. And what it will leave you with is a 6x9 that has a 1/2 inch scored on each side and 12 panels that are all the same measurement. I'm going to zoom in for this so that you can follow along with what I'm doing. Okay. And you need your stylus and you need a ruler. And what we're going to do is on the outside panel, we are going to score from that point to that point. And we're going to do that. And then we're going to score from that point to that point. So you're going to end up with like a zigzag, an M shape, and then we're going to score from that point to that point. And then again from that point to that point. I started making these last night, and I can't tell you, it looks really more complicated than it is. It's really fast to put together. I cut and scored a bunch and then just sat and cut them all up and assembled them. It was so quick. And then we flipped it over, and we're going to do this on the other side. And you're going to score from the top to the middle. and from the middle to the top, and top to the middle again. There we go. So you are going to end up with something that looks like this. Almost looks like a cracker box. That you can make a cracker out of it. I don't have a pair of the long Stampin' Up! Snips that they got rid of them about 10 years ago, and I never did buy them. So I find a longer pair of scissors are easier to do, are easier to use than the smaller snips. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip up this score line and this score line, and then I'm going to cut off this edge. And I'm going to do that on that side and on that side. And most times when you're making a box, you need to notch the edges. We are not notching the edges. Some people just didn't do a very clean job here, so let me just snip this a little bit more. Some people are going to question why I'm, as I go along, I haven't burnished all my score lines. I find it easier and cleaner to burnish all the score lines after I've done the cutting. So it's up to you. There's no right, there's no wrong. I just find it cleaner to do it this way. And now I'm going to snip up like that and snip up like that. So now I've got this. Now what we have to do is we have to cut out these sections. So I am going to go from this edge, and this is where the longer scissors come in handy. And I am going to cut along this score line to that point. I am going to do the same along here. Cut along this score line, always checking to make sure I'm still in frame, like that. And now I need to cut this out. And I'm going to cut along there like that. And one more time like this. And we have to do it on the other side as well. So I'm going to snip along here. I find it easier to cut the two edges off first before snipping in the middle. Like that. And now like this. All right, so now we've done all that. You're going to end up with something that looks like this. Now I'm going to snip down the center of each here to this horizontal score line. So down the center, the tip to that score line, the tip to this score line, and tip, and one more time. I like to get it, make sure I'm right on the tip. There we go. There we go. And now we have this. So we've snipped down those two edges, snipped down those, we've cut off the outside edges. So I am just going to zoom back out again. It's hard to pay attention to what I'm in frame or not. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. So that way I know that if I'm on the grid paper that I'm in frame. Okay, so I have cut the designer series paper, and I've already done it, and I've used this pattern. So it's a non-directional piece of designer series paper, and it's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you'll end up with 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we need to do is adhere a full one like this onto those panels. You can use any adhesive that you want. I am just going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. Do try to get it on into the corners. That way it's not going to lift up on you. The corners aren't going to lift. So some people like to use the Tombow glue just so that you can get it into the corners. But I'm just going to be very careful and make sure that I do it in all the corners. Now you can see why non-directional paper is necessary or is an important part of this project. If you use directional or like a definite stripe or something, it kind of doesn't match up. And like this. I usually, when I do 3D projects, I keep a sample of all the measurements, etc. in a file folder. But you know, doing a video and putting it up there on YouTube, that's like a little file folder right there. And I can go back and look with the directions and everything. So that's what it looks like. Now these two pieces, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cut them diagonally. You can use your trimmer. I am going to, because they're long scissors, snip it. And I have a steady hand sometimes, and I've only had 1 cup of coffee. There we go. And for this, I am going to use the Tombow glue, which I had out. And you are going to put, oh, you know, I had a brain burp. Tombow glue on the inside, and it's going to get adhered like this. I was trying to think, does it go on this side or this side? But it goes on the inside. Triangle, like that. So this is what it's going to look like. So make sure you get some adhesive, again, to the edges. That's why I'm using Tombow glue on this one, so that I can get adhesive right to the edges. I did one and I didn't have adhesive to the edges, and it kind of was a pain afterwards to make sure to go and put adhesive after I put it together. I've got a baby wipe here to get rid of the ink on my fingers, or not ink, glue. And like this. Oh, come on. And it's going to go like that. You can use your silicone mat if you're putting adhesive on, and that way you don't get adhesive on your grid paper. I have a silicone mat, but never thought to get it out, if you want to know the truth. And put that one on there. What did we ever do without baby wipes? And then the last one. Like this. Okay. Just gonna wipe my fingers off yet again on a clean baby wipe. So that's what your box is gonna look like. Okay. Now I'm going to do some burnishing. And I'm just going to, on all the score lines, fold and burnish. I am not going to do the outer edges though, because they don't need to be done really. Sometimes burnishing, if you're too harsh, makes the cardstock look frayed. And now I'm going to burnish these folds, or the score lines, like this. All right, so now it looks like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dry fit it first. Ultimately, we're going to put adhesive on the inside of these panels, but I am just going to adhere them, dry fit them to make sure that my cutting was okay and I don't need to trim off anything from the panel below. As you make these, sometimes you will have to. Yep, no, I'm okay. So sometimes you will have to trim off, and that's no big deal if you do. And now I'm going to put adhesive Tombow glue along here. And if you had a paper clip, a bulldog clip, something like that, clothespin, you can use it to hold down the glue while it dries, but I'm just going to hold it this side while I put adhesive on this side. do on this side. Okay, so I've got that side done. And now I'm going to do this side. Sometimes the Tombow glue, you know, it's a struggle to get it to come out, and then other times it just spews out. I'm just going to hold that down while I go do this side. Like that. And then I'm going to fold that like this. So what kind of things can you put in here? I did buy packages of Teddy Grahams. They were too big. They were too big to go in here. But you know, you could put some Ferrero Rocher. You can obviously put jewelry in there if you wanted to. Little notes. You could even do a series of them. Okay, I'm filming this on November 19th, so if you want to get crafty, you could put a series of these on your tree for if you have your tree up December 1st for a little advent. Lots of things that you can put inside. Necklace, like I said, jewelry, or candy. And so the Oreo cookie kind of goes in there like this, and then it folds up like that. Now, you don't have to, because we're putting the loop on here, but I like to put a little strip of sticky tape along here. If you don't, when the box is relaxed, this will open up. But once you hang it on the tree, it tightens up again, so it closes the box. But I like to, I don't like it when it's like relaxed like this and it opens up, because the ribbon doesn't tie it closed, because it's going to hang on the tree. The pressure will close it. So I'm hoping that I explained that well. If you wanted to reuse the box, sure thing. Don't put the sticky strip there, but I like to seal it all up. So just on one side, and I'm going to peel it off and seal it up. And I'm just going to match these two up like that. And the reason why I didn't score it, because you'll see that it stands straight up. So I didn't score those two edges. All right, now I'm going to take my crocodile. One thing I'm going to suggest is to put the holes, don't put the holes too far apart. They don't, it doesn't look as nice. So I've set the depth on my crocodile, and I'm going to put it in like that. And you can do whatever size works for you, but I like them not too far apart. But now they're easily spaced between from each edge. I'm using the Real Red and Green Garden Combo Pack, but hey folks, use whatever ribbon you have available that coordinates, and I need about 20 inches. Whoops. Like that. I dropped the ribbon, so that was what the oops was for. I'm going to just angle the ribbon a little bit, because it's going to make it easier to go through the holes in the box. Not very sharp scissors. Shouldn't use crafting scissors on fabric, or paper scissors on fabric. And now I'm going to put that one in there like that, and then this one is going to go inside like this. And let's see, I want that much hang for the tree. That much hang for the tree. And I'm taking an old bulldog clip from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to adhere it there like that, so that when I pull the two strings together, they're not they don't pull through the box. I just realized that the ribbon wasn't straight. My OCD was kicking in. And now I'm going to tie this up again like that. You can use anything that you have, paper clip, just to hold it back there so that when I tie the knot, it doesn't pull the ribbon through. And you know, whenever you're trying to tie a bow on camera, you know it doesn't work, right? I don't think I cut enough, but I'll make it work. And then just fluff it left and right. The first box I did, the ribbon was a lot longer. There we go. There we go. So there it is, and I am now going to just finish off the edge by doing a nice clean cut on the ribbon, angle it. But we're not done yet. Now we're going to just do, there we go. And now I'm going to take the special delivery that is in the Santa's delivery, and I'm going to take real red, and I'm also using this die from All That. Folks, use whatever sentiment, dies, ribbons, DSP you have on hand to create this project. You do not have to recreate it, and it doesn't have to be exactly like this. Use up what you have, because I know you all have stash at home. So special delivery just for you. And I thought this would be really cute to put on the tree. And, you know, when the kids come down for Christmas, you know, Santa left them a little treat. Everybody needs Oreos and cookies, or milk and Oreos first thing in the morning, don't they? And then with some dimensionals, because you need dimensionals on everything. There we go. And I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on it, like this. And there we go. There is the special delivery just for you. Now, on this box, because the ribbon is a bit thicker, I did a terrible job of trimming that. I only looped it in once, right, on the back. But with this baker's twine, which I have a whole bunch of it and it's retired, I looped it through and then looped it back in again so that it's on the front and back, and then tied my knot. And I only did that because it's very thin. This is a lot thicker ribbon, and I thought it looked nice with just one loop. Alrighty, so here comes the snowman and Santa again. So here they are. Here's the 2. Here's the one that you're using current product, and then here's one using retired product with the baker's twine and old cardstock. And then here are the 2 that both of them I made today, and one I'm showcasing with you on how to make it. So again, thanks to Paper Pixie Poodles and everybody else who's made these boxes. I love them, and they fit the Oreo treats perfectly. Take care, happy stamping, and we will talk to you again soon.